Hello? I may be talking to no one. I don't know. But, oh, hey, Jude. Oh, my God. I'm so glad to see you. You know, I talked for 24 minutes to nobody. It just recorded it. So I was like, oh, my God. I don't even know what to do with that. I'm so happy to see you. How you been? So you mean it really worked? Because I couldn't see anything. I was like, oh, my God. Something happened here. I don't, StreamYard's weird. I don't know. I just feel stupid. Isn't that crazy? I just feel stupid. So thank you. Thank you, Jude. I appreciate it. You know, I just really love you. You've made all this so, oh, Criminal Man, how are you? Hey guys. Yes, it's really me. This is how I really look. This is me. You know, it's me. I was going to just use my avatar, but then I decided, you know, why? Why would I do that? This is what you look like. Just go with it, you know. So I don't know. We'll just wait a few minutes and then we'll get back to reading the book and talking about what we're talking about. I swear to God, I really thought nothing was happening except it was recording it. I'm like, oh, anyway, I hope everybody's had a great February so far. It's been super cold and I don't like it. Oh, thank you. Hey, Jude, you're so sweet. You know, I appreciate that. Now, y'all might hear my little dogs barking and stuff, but I mean, they're already downstairs and I put on Disney for them, but you know, they just really love attention. So we'll see. Oh, thank you, Criminal Med. Thank you. Yeah, my husband spends a lot of money on this hair, and because he never wants me to cut it, you know. And I'm thinking, well, at my age, I don't want to cut it because it may never grow back. So he says, just do what you got to do. Anyway. So I don't know. You know, when I thought about making this channel, I was like, I'm never going to do true crime because there's so many other people out there who do a really good job at it. And I know I could not do what they do, you know? So I thought, well, why don't we just read some true crime books and then talk about it? You know, what was the author's intent? Is it real? Is it fabricated? You know, or did they just blend a little bit of it together? You know, and my first book is Boy Interrupted, which is that Gannon Stout story. But I kind of stopped on that one because I wanted to gather a little bit more material because, you know, we all watched that trial and we can go back and match the material to the book because the book is entirely written on the affidavit. That's all. I mean, there's other facts that are not in that book that should have been in that book. So anyway, oh, show poodle Star Lambert Star. Did you get your package today? I hope so. It may be tomorrow. I'm not sure. So, God, y'all don't know how happy I am to see the chat. That was the problem a while ago. I know I'm all over the place because I'm nervous, but I didn't see any chat. I didn't see anything. You know what? I wish you would do that, Criminal Med. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of us have a lot of questions, and when you read those affidavits and then you read the medical reports and the death certs and all that for those cases, I'd really like to know what are we really talking about. I mean, I don't even care if you want to come up and just do it on my live. I don't care. I'll share with anybody. I mean, I just think there's so many things we could learn, you know, from somebody who has that knowledge, and it would make everything easier for us. What do you think? Yes. Come on up whenever you want to. We'll make a special date of it. You tell me when you want to. Do you have a channel, Criminal Med? I don't remember. Please refresh me. I know I'm playing with my little hair thing because I'm a nervous wreck. Oh, Lord. Well, what time is it? 3:26. Well, let's give a few minutes, let some more people come in. I just feel so embarrassed because I just don't know what I'm doing, you know? And everybody else just seems like it just flows out so easily. And then I just like, oh, Lord, come on. Okay, I do, but nothing is in it yet. Oh, okay. Well, if you want to use mine, please do anytime you want to. Look at Hey Jude. She majored in psychology. She knows. Wow. Yeah. Starlight, Star Bright. We'll just call you that. Starlight, Star Bright, Lambert. Oh, Lord. let's see. Anybody going live tonight that we really need to pay attention to and watch? Y'all tell me, because I have not looked today. I've kind of been just doing a little housework and doing some things that I did not do while I was sick. I mean, today is the first day I can actually not cough and breathe out of my nose all at the same time. It has been horrible. I think I brought something home off that boat. So my sister was sick too. Anyway, I'm super old and not very good looking. So criminal man, don't be scared. You can just do with an avatar. You don't even have to show your face. I'm surprised I'm even showing mine. I mean, look how pale I look. That's because I've been sick. But anyway, maybe I should turn the light off. Hang on. Oh, that's better. Look, I have color. I'm not just a big bright white light. Everybody's beautiful. That's what I think. You know, we talk about Sebastian's case so much. And I'm just so sad about that case. I don't understand why. You know, where is this baby? What happened to him? There's no way he could have walked out of that house and not be seen on any cameras anywhere. There is just no way. Oh. I just cry about that case sometimes because I don't understand it. I mean, I don't understand Katie. How can she be that way? You know? I just don't know. Oh, hey, Queen Bella. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in with us today. Yes, I'm a nervous wreck and I'm rambling, but, you know, it's okay. We'll get through it, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, whenever I heard there was like another body found over in Cumberland area of Tennessee, I thought to myself, oh, God, please don't let it be that baby. I know they've not said anything about who it is or whatever. I'm just praying it's not him. I really am. I just want that baby to come home. I want him to be with his dad. I want him to enjoy life. I mean, you know, I too have a child that's, you know, a little bit out there, but on the spectrum, but you know, he's great. And I always tell everybody that he saved my life. So, you know, he is just the greatest gift from God. When you have a baby at 46, it's a little bit different. But anyway, so we'll just wait a couple more minutes. We'll just talk amongst ourselves and see if there's anything else we want to do besides, you know, read books or, you know, talk about our hobbies, talk about things we collect, talk about, you know, just our life if y'all want to. I don't care. I don't care if we just come in here and just BS with each other for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever. I mean, I can't do a show every day like some of these people because I just can't. I mean, what would I do it on? You know, because I don't want to do true crime, so I don't really know. I don't know how to knit. No, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to crochet. I mean, I know how to clean house. I know how to raise dogs. What else do I know? Well, I mean, you know, that's about it. So, you know what, criminal men? You're right about that because that was hard. The whole thing was hard. But, you know, I'm so fortunate, and I know that because at that age, you could have all kinds of problems, and I was going to love him no matter what, you know, no matter what. So, yeah, so we were very fortunate. Thank you, Jesus. I thank him every day. Anyway, I love my dogs too, Jude. I sure do. You know, I put little videos of them out there all the time because, you know, I just love them and they're so funny. And I don't know. Jack is just my love bug. You know, he's so sweet and he just loves me. But anyway, all right. Okay, so we'll go back and talk about this book again now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So what I was going to do was like, we'll just start out at, did I say hello to everybody? Like I'm feeling lost now. 40 dogs? Wow. Do you train rescue dogs? Is that what it is? Oh, Cindy, oh, hi, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming on over with us today. I really appreciate it. And I'm so glad I decided to come back on and restart. You know, where I could actually see y'all instead of feeling like, oh God. But anyway, so glad to see y'all. I mean, I've had many different dogs. But I always wanted the French bulldogs. I always wanted one, but I was so afraid of all the health problems and everything else, so I wouldn't get one. But then after my little Piddle passed away, my little love bug, my Chihuahua, which killed my heart, my husband bought me the French bulldog. So I'm like, oh, thank you. I was so excited. We really had one, and then like, about 3 weeks later, he was like, you know what? We really need to get that little girl. And I was like, you know what? We sure do. And that's how we ended up with two of them. But they are so fun. Every day they make me laugh. Every single day. Oh, well, anyway. Okay, let's get back on our little book up here now. I don't even know how to do this, and y'all know that. So we're just going to wing it through here, and we're going to talk about what happens in chapter 2. You know, the thing about it is, I know that I've talked to some people in chats that told us that they were married to a psychopath or a sociopath, or they, and have been divorced, or they've known one and lived with one. And I would love to have somebody who actually was married to one come up and tell us about their life and when did they know this person was like that? Did they see any signs before? Or was it just all of a sudden we had Jekyll and Hyde, And that's the thing I want to know about. Because I joke about it, but no, I've never really been married to a sociopath. Unless I'm the sociopath, but I wouldn't know that, would I? Because as far as they're concerned, it's everybody else, it's not them. Okay, Jude, the book is The Sociopath Next Door. So, we're just going to move on to, remember we were talking about Joe and his actions. And so we're just going to move on to chapter 2 because it's a mess now. But anyway. All right, ready? I thought, I think we can just read stuff as long as we stop and talk about it. So, okay, she got that. All right, let me get over here to page 36. And the reason why I'm doing this book, Star Labored, I believe. Did you tell me to get this book, or was it Woman's Warrior? I can't remember which one. It said, "Oh, please get that book for your series. Get that book." And I said, "Okay." And so I ordered it, and I was like, "Oh my Lord, this is good." So anyway, here's the book. Let me show y'all. Can you see that? Oh, it's not very clear, is it? Well, okay. I don't know how to make it clear. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe we're too close. I don't know. Okay. Well, let's go to page 36. And listen, y'all, I think it was Woman's Warrior then. Yeah. I love her too. I'm trying to help her. She wants to do a channel. I'm so excited for her. I mean, I think anybody who wants to do a channel, just go do it. Even if you make mistakes like me and you don't know what you're doing, it's okay. Because the people who love you will love you anyway. That's how I feel about it. So, yeah. So it's helping us understand social. Yes, it is. It is. Because we always want to say, "Oh my God, he's a psychopath. That's a psychopath. That's a psychopath." But they're really not. They're actually the other side of it, because it's all a behavior problem, but it's just some are worse than others. So anyway, now the thing about this chapter 2 is it's called Ice People, the Sociopaths. All right. And then what happens in this book, it starts talking about, it tells these stories about people. And so we're just going to go on with it. And if you can't hear me, let me know, but I hope you can. Okay, my dog's going to bark now. Well, that's okay. So the guy in this story, his name is Skip. And so Skip was growing up. His family had a vacation cottage by a small lake in the hills of Virginia where they went for a part of each summer. They vacationed there from time Skip was 8 years old until he went away to high school in Massachusetts. Skip looked forward to his summers in Virginia. There was not a lot to do there, but the one activity he invented was so much fun that it made up for the general lack of excitement. In fact, sometimes back at grade school in the winter, escaping into his own thoughts while some stupid teacher, it says that, went on and on about something, he would get a picture of himself playing his game by the warm Virginia lake, and he would chuckle out loud. He's a troublemaker, you know it, right? Skip was brilliant and handsome, even as a child. Brilliant and handsome. His parents and his parents' friends and even his teachers would remark over and over. And so they could not understand why his grades were so mediocre and why, or when the time came, he seemed to have so little interest in going on dates. What they did not know was that from the age of 11, Skip had been out with plenty of girls, but not quite in the way his parents and teachers were imagining. Okay, so this kind of tells me this little child people were not paying attention to him. They were just assuming he was doing things because that's what they did. And that's kind of sad for me, really. But anyway, there were always someone, usually an older girl, who was willing to succumb to Skip's flattery and his charming smile. Often the girl would sneak him into her room, but sometimes he and the girl would simply find a secluded spot on a playground or under the bleachers at the softball field. As for his grades, he really was extremely smart. He could have made straight A's, but He made C's and D's. It was like completely effortless. So he just wouldn't even try, which is sad. Um, so occasionally he would get a B. Wow, wow, that's sad. Which amused him since he never studied. The teachers liked him, seemed to be almost as vulnerable to his smile and his compliments as the girls were, and everyone assumed that the young skipper would end up at a good high school and then a decent college despite his grades. Aww. His parents had a great deal of money, were mega rich, as the other kids put it. On several occasions, when he was about 12, Skip sat at the antique rolling top desk and his parents had bought. Wait, they put this in his room, trying to calculate how much money he would get when they died. Oh my God. Okay, this child started at a very young age. Oh, this is horrible. He based his calculations on some financial records he had stolen from his father's study. The records were confusing and incomplete, but even though he could not arrive at an exact figure, Skip could see clearly that someday he would be quite rich. This reminds me of the Mendez brothers, actually. It really does. Still, Skip had a problem. He was bored most of the time. The amusements he pursued, even the girls, even fooling the teachers, even thinking about his money, did not keep him energized very long. The family wealth held the most promise as an entertainment, but it was not under his control yet. He still was a child. No, the only real relief from boredom was the fun he could have in Virginia, the little vacation cottage. The first summer, when he was 8, he had simply stabbed the bullfrogs. Oh my God! Listen, y'all. I did not pre-read this, and this is making me sad because you know I love animals. So just bear with me, okay? Oh my God! The first summer, when he was 8, he had simply stabbed the bullfrogs with scissors, for want of another method. He had discovered that he could take a net from the fishing shed and capture the frogs easily from the mud banks at the lake. He would hold them down. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He would hold them down their backs and stab their bulging stomachs and then turn them back over to watch their stupid jelly eyes go dead as they bled out. Oh my God. Then he would hurt the corpses as far out. He would hurl the corpses as far out into the lake as he could, yelling at the dead frogs as they flew. Too bad for you, you little fuck-faced froggy. That's what it really says in the book. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. That's what it says. There were so many frogs in that lake, he could spend hours at a time killing them, and still it looked as if there were hundreds and hundreds of them left for tomorrow. By the end of the first summer, Skip had decided that he could do better. He was tired of stabbing the frogs. It would be so great to blow them up, to have something that would make them fat little squirms. Oh, to explode them. And toward this end, he had a really good plan. He knew plenty of older boys back home, and one in particular he knew took a family trip to South Carolina during spring break every April. Skip had heard that the fireworks were for sale and easy to get in South Carolina. Oh my God. With a little bribe from Skip, his friend Tim would buy him some fireworks there, and then he would smuggle them home in the bottom of his suitcase. Tim would be scared to do it, but with a pep talk from Skip, because we know what he is, and enough money, he would. Next summer, Skip would have not scissors, but fireworks. This is a horrible little child. Finding cash around the house was no problem, and the plan worked like a charm. That April, he came up with $200 for fireworks. He got the variety pack, the Star Spangled Banner it was called, which he had seen in the gun magazine, and another $100 to sweeten the deal for Tim. And when Skip finally got his hands on that package, it was a beautiful thing. He had chosen Star Spangled Banner because it contained the largest number of devices, small enough to fit or almost fit into the mouth of a bullfrog. There was a supply of the tiny rum candles and some lady fingers, which were slim little red firecrackers, and a bunch of 1-inch shells called wizards. And his favorite, the 2-inch shells in the box labeled Mortal Destruction, which had a skull and crossbones blazoned on the front. Oh my God, y'all know, right? You already know. Your imaginations already went there because he's a horrible little child. Ugh. That summer, he shoved the devices one by one into the mouths of the captured frogs, ignited them, and then threw the frogs high into the air over the lake. Or sometimes he would put the ignited frog down, run off, and watch from a distance as the animal exploded on the ground. The displays were magnificent. Blood, goo. Oh, oh my God. It was on the displays were magnificent. The light. Sometimes he would notice that those colorful, flowerful shapes were so wonderful. Oh, this is hard, y'all. Oh, the result soon. My dog's a barking. That's a cat. The results. Oh, this is hard. He began to crave an audience for his genius, he considered. One afternoon, he entitled his 6-year-old sister, her name is Claire, down to the lake. Let her help him capture one of the frogs. And then before her eyes made an airborne explosion of it. Claire screamed hysterically and ran as fast as her legs would carry her back to the house. The family's stately cottage sat about a half a mile from the lake, beyond a serene stand of 100-foot hemlocks. This was not far away, that Skip's parents had not heard the explosive noises, and they imagined that the skipper must be setting off his fireworks by the lake. But they had long since realized that he was not that sort of a child who could be controlled, and that he needed to choose their battles very carefully. Okay, you see what's going on here with this child? So they're not going to get onto him for being dangerous because that's not as important as something else. Oh, the fireworks issue was not one of those they chose to deal with, not even when 6-year-old Claire came running in to tell the mother the skipper was blowing up frogs. Skip's mother turned up the record player, oh Lord, in the library as loud as it would go, and Claire tried to hide her cat, Emily. See, this little girl was afraid he was going to do this to her cat. And you know what? I bet he would have. I bet he would have. Oh my gosh. Super Skip. Skip is a sociopath. Yes, ma'am, he is. He is. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Oh, you know, they always say, well, Jeffrey Dahmer, a few of these other people, they started out killing animals and then they went on to people. I mean, and it's like nobody ever said anything. Remember Jeffrey Dahmer, the movie, when he had these little animals and he would go find the roadkill and he would take it back to that little shed and then he would just, stuff them or whatever he wanted to do with them. And his parents did not think that was weird, which I find that amazing because if my child brought home some dead animal, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? And if he brought home a hurt animal and we were going to fix it, that's one thing. But, bringing home a dead animal? Okay. Skip is a sociopath. He has no conscience, no intervening sense of obligation based on an emotional attachments to others. And his later life, which we will get into in a moment, provides an instructing example of what an intelligent adult without a conscience can look like. Just as it's difficult to imagine how he would feel if we had no conscience at all. So it's very hard to use one's imagination let's get to the page here, to construct an accurate picture of such a person. Letitia Stouch. Right there. Amoral and uncaring. Does he end up isolated on the edges of society? Does he constantly threaten and snarl and quite possibly drool, devoid as he is of such a fundamental human characteristics? One might easily imagine that Skip grew up to be a killer in the end. Perhaps he murdered his parents for their money. Maybe he wound up dead himself or in the bowels of a maximum security prison where he belonged. No, it doesn't say that. I said that. Sounds likely, but nothing of the kind actually happened. Skip is still alive. He has never killed anyone, not directly at least, and so far he has not seen the inside of any prisons. To the contrary, though, he has not yet inherited his parents' money. He has become successful and rich on his own. And if you meet him now, or you encountered him as a stranger in a restaurant or on the streets, he would look like any other well-groomed, middle-aged fellow. Wow. That's shocking because most of them, I always assumed most of them would actually go on to kill people because they always talk about that, They always talk about that. So, what is that? Oh, yeah, Criminal Man. Believe it or not, I had to pull the youngest Dahmer victim. Oh, no, he lived flybox from my son's school, too. Awful monster. Yeah, that. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Lord. Okay. I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to talk about that Manson too. I think that would be a good thing to talk about Because yes, I really believe he was a sociopath, to be honest with you. I really do. But anyway, we'll talk about Charles Manson another day, but I think it would be interesting to talk about that. So, okay, we'll move on to the next part here. How could this be possible? Did he have recovery? Did he get better? No, in truth, he got worse. He became a super skip with passive, if not stellar grades, his charm and his family's influence. Skip did indeed get into the good boarding school in Massachusetts. Oh, he got into a boarding school. Okay. That makes the difference, huh? All right. All right. And his family breathed a sigh of relief, both for his acceptance to the school and for his relative absence from their homes. Oh, man, that's sad. His teachers still found him charismatic, but his mother and sister had learned that he was manipulative and spooky. Claire would sometimes speak Skipper's weird eyes. Remember? Letitia Stouch, Adam Montgomery, we can name a few. They all had those dead black shark eyes. That's what I think. Anyway. So she's talking about his weird eyes. The mother everyone else saw only a handsome young man. Okay. When college came around, Skip was accepted into his father's alma mater and his grandfather's before that, where he became legendary as a party boy and a ladies' man. Of course he did. Graduating with his customary C average, oh Lord, he entered into the MBA program at a less prestigious institution. Letitia Stouch, right here. Because he had figured out that the business world was a place where he might master the game easily and amuse himself using his natural skills. His grades got no better, but his lifelong, ability to charm people and get them to do what he wanted because he just became more refined. When he was 26, he joined the Eureka Corporation, a company that made blasting, drilling, and loud equipment for metal ore and mine. Oh, so he's making mining equipment. Cool. He intense blue eyes and stunning smile, all the right moments to his new employers. He seemed almost magically talented at motivating sales representatives and influencing contacts. For his part, Skip had discovered that manipulating educated adults was no harder than it had been to convince his young friend Tim to buy the fireworks in South Carolina. And of course, lying in increasingly elegant ways, he came as easily as breathing. Even better, chronically bored, Skip relished. He relished the pressures of fast-track risk-taking. Okay. And was more than willing to take the big chances that no one else would. Before his third anniversary at the company, he had gone after the copper in Chile and the gold in South Africa, eventually making Eureka into the world's third largest vendor of both shaft end and open mine equipment. Eureka's founder, who Skip previously viewed as a fool, listen to that. See, because the sociopath is smarter than everybody else, right? That's right. Okay, everybody else is stupid. He was so enchanted with Skip that he gave him a new Ferrari GTB as a corporate gift. Wow, give me one. When he was 30, Skip married Juliet. Oh no, he got a wife. Oh, the lovely, soft-spoken 23-year-old daughter of a celebrated billionaire who had made his fortune in oil exploration. Skip made sure that Juliet's father saw him as the brilliant, ambitious son he had never had. Skip saw his billionaire father-in-law as what he was, a ticket to just about everything. I'm pretty sure he picked Juliet only because of, the money that he could inherit from her family, because it was substantially more than he could inherit from his own family. And quite accurately, he saw his new wife, Juliet, as sweet, repressed gentlewoman who would thoroughly accept her role as a wife and social coordinator, and who would pretend not to know that Skip's life remained just as devoid of personal responsibilities and full of random sexual encounters as it had ever been. She would be attractive and respectable on his arm, but she would keep her mouth shut. Oh, Lord. A week before the wedding, Skip's mother, already feeling closer to Juliet, this chapter's almost over. So let's just finish this, and then we'll finish talking about this chapter. Right before the wedding, the mother, of course, she gets close, and she just inquired, of her son. The marriage, do you really need to do this to her life? Oh, so mom is asking Skip, do you really need to do this to her life? Skip started to ignore her, as he usually did. But then he was apparently struck by something funny, and he replied to her protest with an ear to ear grin. We both know she'll never know what hit her. Okay? Who does that sound like? I want y'all to give me some names of people that you know this sounds like, that we have seen in true crime or are currently seeing in true crime. Go. Give me some names, y'all. Put them on out there. Oh, couponing. Hi, how are you? I'm so happy to see you. Yes, I am. I'm happy to see everybody. I love everybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, the mother is trying to help the poor girl. But of course, I wonder if the family is afraid, like the mother is afraid of her own son. You hear about that. That really does happen. Brian Laundrie, you're right. You are exactly right. Star, that's another one. And my husband really does not care about true crime, but he actually sat down and watched that story, the Gabby Petito story, and it just broke him. I mean, he just cried. He just cried. Angela of Light, hello. It's so good to see you guys. I know y'all expected the avatar, didn't you? Anyway, okay, let me go back to this. So, married, socially ensconced, and bringing in close to $80 million a year for Eureka. Skip was made president of its international division and a member of the board before his 36th birthday. Wow, he's pretty good at this, isn't he? By this time, he and Juliet had two little girls. Oh no, he had children. Completing his public disguise as a family man, his contributions to the business came with a certain price, but nothing that could not be handled for a cost. Employees sometimes complained that he was insulting or vicious, and Enrica was sued when a secretary claimed he had broken her arm while trying to force her to sit in his lap. Oh my God. The case was settled out of court, $50,000 and a gag order for the secretary. You see how that goes? He tries to sexually abuse her. He breaks her arm, putting him in, getting in his lap, and then she gets a gag order. She can't talk about it. And so he just continues on. Oh, I'm pretty sure there's more. Mm-hmm. Wow. All right. We'll just move on. So he was super Skip, and his employer understood that he was well worth that upkeep. Of the incident, Skip later remarked privately, she's insane. She broke her own arm. She struggled with me. That stupid bitch. Why the hell did she put up such a fight? After the secretary, there was additionally charges of sexual misconduct. That Skip was so valuable to the organization that each time a problem came up, Eureka simply just dispersed another check to make sure it was okay. The other board members began to refer to him as their company prima donna. Yeah, bet. And as the years passed, he received grants of more than 1 million shares, making him the second largest individual shareholder after Eureka's founder. And in 2001, at the age of 51, Skip took over as chief executive. Most recently, some of his problems have become slightly less manageable. But with his usual arrogance, Skip is confident he will land on his feet, perhaps a little too confident. In 2003, he was accused of fraud by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Oh boy, that's great. He denied the charge, of course, and at present decision, the SEC is pending. Oh boy. Now, so he's not out there killing people, but he's out there abusing people, of course. Just some more of that. And that's right. We've always heard that. We've always heard, well, it's everybody else's fault, or I didn't do anything, or she made me do it, or if you would have done this, that wouldn't have happened. I mean, ugh, wow. I feel sorry for the little girls, I do. Who would want to have that guy as a father? Nobody. My father died in February of last year. And it was really hard because, I grew up as like a little princess. He always called me Miss Astor, and that's why my car has a license plate that says Miss Astor. I couldn't imagine my dad treating me the way these little girls probably got treated. I'm sure it was just horrible. We'll just read on for a moment. And this is called Playing the Game, and we're still on Skip. No, Skip was not consigned to the edges of society. He does not rule, and he is not yet in prison. In fact, he is rich and in many circles respected, or at least feared. Of course he's feared, which masquerades brilliantly as respect. So what is wrong with this picture? Or perhaps the question should be, what is wrong with this part of the picture? The central flaw in Skip's life that makes him into a tragedy despite his success and emotional attachments to other people. None. He has none. Okay. He is cold as ice. Remember, that was the name of the chapter. His mother is there to be ignored or sometimes baited. His sister is there to be tormented. Other women are sexual plunders and nothing more. He has been waiting since childhood for his father to die and leave him the money. His employees are there to be manipulated and used. As friends, he's not as friends, of course. His wife and even his children are meant for their eyes of the world. Okay, like for the eyes to be on his arm. And so what it's talking about, like they're just eye candy. They don't mean anything. They're camouflage. Skip is intelligently gifted, and he is fabulous at the gamesmanship of business. But by far, his most impressive talent is his ability to conceal from nearly everyone the true emptiness of his heart, and to command the passive silence of those few who do know him that way. Most of us are irrationally influenced by appearance. That's sad, but that's true. And Skipper has always looked good. He knows just how to smile. He's charming, and we can readily imagine him showering flattery on the boss who gave him the Ferrari. Meanwhile, thinking him as under his foot and underneath him, because he's above everybody. He's better than everybody else. All being incapable of gratitude toward anyone. He lies artfully and constantly with absolutely no sense of guilt that might give him away with his body language or facial expressions. He uses sexuality just like the women do. Letitia Stouch. We just name them and name them and name them. Same thing as manipulation, and hides his emotional vacancy behind various respectable roles. Corporate superstar, son-in-law, husband, father, which are nearly impenetrable disguises. Wow. Let me see how many more pages in this one, because we might have to stop and come back to it. But we'll just stop and come back. Let me just mark this, because I know I've just spent so much time trying to figure out, was I on, was I not on, what the hell am I doing? Anyway, we'll stop there. But we absolutely know people like this. We have met people like this. We have seen people like this. We might even have worked for people like this. I know I have at a law firm, which was my last job. I retired at the age of 55 and said, I'm not doing this shit anymore. And I didn't. And I was like, just going to be a stay-home mom, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I really have. So, does anybody want to come up maybe one day and talk about your experience with a sociopath? Because I wish you would. I really do wish you would. It would be interesting to learn, how long was it before you realized that that's what was in your life, was a sociopath, not a psychopath, but a sociopath. So that would be great. So, let's see. Let me just read for a minute. He's insulting, vicious. Yeah. They always blame everyone else. That's right, criminal men. Shock and horror. Yeah. But the thing is, this started as a child. And I just can't imagine a mother and father not realizing what was going on and where this could lead. I just can't even imagine that. I can't. Oh, I'm sure he was jealous of the other children. I want to talk about something for just a second, and I'm not going to stay on this very long, because I don't really want to do true crime like that. But when we talk about Sebastian, and we talk about Katie, and we talk about that person, the one thing that I think happened in that family is the fact that he was very jealous, and he did not want Katie to spend her time with her own son. He wanted the time, not. I think that's what's wrong with that person. But I don't know. I can't really say that, I guess, out loud. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. But it just seemed to me like it was something like that was going on. But, I don't know. So, I think my child came home. Okay, y'all, we'll just pick this back up. If you want to, we can go tomorrow, or we can go on maybe Sunday afternoon, or we can do it on Monday. But if anybody wants to come up, please just email me. I would love to hear somebody talk about their life and what it was like for them, because I just find it fascinating that people can live amongst us like that, and people don't even notice it. It's like we don't even pay attention to it until all of a sudden it's too late, That's kind of that's what it's kind of like. You just don't know. Your next door neighbor, actually, your next door neighbor could be just over there plotting whatever against you. You don't even know. I don't know. People are not like they used to be. I remember growing up, and everybody in the neighborhood knew everybody's kids. And if you were not where you're supposed to be, they're going to tell you, get your ass home. I'm calling your mom, or I'm calling your dad, or whatever. So I don't know. The times have changed just so much. But anyway, I'm not going to spend a long time saying goodbye because I could do that. I could talk for a long time because I like to talk. I do. But anyway, we'll just pick this back up another time. I really, really appreciate your patience with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sandy, I understand that PTSD. I sure do. I sure do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Anyway, so I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll let y'all know when I can reschedule. And I think I'll have a better idea of how to get the work, to get what I want to talk about out without feeling nervous. Okay. Have a great evening. I'm sure I'm going to see you in somebody else's live. And as always, be careful, take care of yourself, and hug your babies. Hug your babies. Bye, guys. See you later. I don't really have an outro. Oh, my Lord.